Hey guys, in this video I'll be talking about Apple's privacy-centric iOS 14 and what it means for the future of the internet and how other platforms other than Facebook are responding to it. Those of you who are Facebook marketers are already aware of what's been going on with the Apple and Facebook wars, which has made a very interesting time for many people. But in terms of traffics and conversions going haywire. But what people aren't really aware of is that this isn't exactly a new movement. For a long time now, cookies haven't been the best way of tracking, but no one really has reached consensus of what we should be doing about it. The browsers, all the different browsers, all the different internet communities and trying to work out what's the best way. They're talking about these FLoC, so Google's response to it, Parakeet, which is Microsoft's response. No one's really released yet, but there are talks. Everyone's trying to figure out how to move in this privacy-centric world, how to move into a world that doesn't have cookies, but still allow the data that is needed. So it's an interesting conversation. Now, everyone's freaking out about the Facebook Conversions API, but what they don't realize is it actually creates a huge advantage for people that want to track more details throughout the life cycle of the funnel. So we're using APIs. We can track all the way from through the funnel, so when people convert into either a lead or a sale, or into the CRM itself. We can track future purchases and other events that happen and bring that back into Facebook just through the API interface. So what is an API? It's simply a way, in layman's terms, in technical terms, it's an application programming interface. It's basically a way of sending a message from one system to another. So you do what's called an API call. So we're sending a message from your, let's say, lead generation software that's just captured your lead back to Facebook. So this is software from actually a friend of mine, Nick Thakawala of LeadsHook. This is some of the work that he put into understanding how Facebook's wanting us to track and send the data back. So it is quite intensive. It is worth learning. So I'm going to go through a little bit about this process so you guys can see how it works. So LeadsHook would save the browser information into custom fields. So the information that would normally be stored by cookies would now be saved directly by the software. It would also save the customer information. So what happens when someone clicks on a Facebook ad, they get what's called the URL parameters. So when you see anyone click on anything from Facebook, you see those little numbers, FB CLID, so FB click ID. Now, because of the iOS 14 updates, that information isn't as useful as it used to be. So to save it and be able to use it in an API call, the software now needs to collect it and save it. LeadsHook would then format the data, so put it in the way that the advertising platform likes. In this case, it's Facebook, and it would hash any sensitive data, so to protect it when it gets sent back, and it would update client events for deduplication. So the pixel isn't completely dead, and you do want to keep using that, but you want to make sure that you're no longer duplicating those events. So you don't want to send the same events twice, or at least you don't want Facebook to be counting the same events twice. So that's what deduplication does. On the Facebook side, you need to set up your Conversions API. You need to build the API URL, insert your API tokens, API version, and Pixel ID. And then finally, once all those pieces are together, the leads come through, you need to send that data to Facebook. So you can track things along every stage of the funnel, like look at all this information. So each of the stages of the process. So these questions that are asked, so you can actually get information throughout the process of that person becoming a lead, in this case. And then finally, you get to send the information back. So format it and then send it back. Now, as I was mentioning before, it's not just Facebook that does this. You see, they actually got a lot of information you can send back. So imagine sending all this info back to Facebook and being able to use that to help you find more customers that look like the people that are your best customers. So you could send information like creating customers that are the most profitable for you, or you can create customers that are purchasing more than once and send that as an API data back to Facebook. Imagine how valuable that information becomes. So, like I said, it's not just Facebook doing this. Google is looking into it. This is the AdWords API, so you can send information from much the same way. So things are getting interesting. It's going to be the year of the API marketer, the technical marketer, the guys that can really enrich data and really help get the best information back to their systems and use that information to create a better user experience and get better results. These are the ones that will have the most advantage going forwards, whereas everyone else will be in a state of confusion. So whilst it is a bit scary for things to change, it also creates huge opportunities for anyone that's willing to learn and put in the effort to understand this technology. So I'm personally very excited to see where this goes and dig in deeper to make this work for myself, my clients, my friends, and my family. Anyways, if that is you, well, go ahead and book a call with Leads Hunter. We'd love to talk to you, see how we can help you and your business grow this year.